We just concluded Pink Dot and thousands turned up at Hong Lim Park to show support for LGBTQ+ community. This year's rally sought to highlight discrimination against the LGBTQ+ community right here in Singapore. However, our fight doesn't just stop right there. There are many queer organizations in Singapore that aims to not just build but also to foster a safe and inclusive queer community and space through programs, stories, and also studies. One such organization is RainbowAsia. During the month of June, RainbowAsia held their first fundraising gala event, aiming to spread awareness about their mission, and we were honored to be invited to attend the event. Hi there and welcome to Queeroddity. Now we're here at Sydney Leisure and tonight we are attending RainbowAsia's first ever fundraising gala where their mission is to build a safe and inclusive space for all. Let's go check it out.
My name is William Nguyen and my pronoun is he, him.
Hi, I'm Tony. My pronouns are he, they.
Why do you think forums or events such as the fundraising gala that RainbowAsia has just put together is important in today's society?
I think it's important to today's society because it will help to create the opportunity for people to come together, all the LGBT and allies, and we will be able to grow our community bigger and especially to connect everyone together. Yeah.
As for me, I particularly like the fact that they offer youth in Singapore who are under the LGBTQIA+ umbrella a platform to express themselves and also a network to get to know other youth that share the same experience, for example, and so that they can feel that they're not alone and they have a community that they belong to.
So, two of you are performers. We saw you performing earlier. How did you get involved with RainbowAsia?
Many years back, I used to be younger and
Didn't we all?
yeah, so I joined one of the activities, events organized by SG Rainbow. So back then they called themselves SG Rainbow. It just RainbowAsia just formed 1 year ago, right? Yeah. So I got to know Hafiz back then.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why he know me and then he invited me to. He know that me and my partner we are performers and then he looking for performers for the event. Yeah. So that happened.
Okay, and how do you think performers such as the two of you could sort of shape the minds and the hearts of the audience, and the audience being a sea of just queer people or even allies or even straight people? How do you think we can, rather than pushing agenda, but we want to speak to them in the whole area of acceptance? Yeah.
Well, we can talk about that. So we're both quite involved in the cabaret scene. And the thing about cabaret is that it's underground and we get to do whatever we want. And so we do have our two-man show showcasing, a queer gay couple going through it, like our ups and downs and the struggles that we face as a couple. It's nothing different from another straight couple, but also there are things that we face as a queer couple as well. Things like coming out with our parents and how do we introduce our boyfriends or our partners to our parents. Those topics is near and dear to our heart. We sing songs about it. We use musical theater as a platform to share our stories, and hopefully it can relate to people and ultimately show people that, hey, you know what, at the end of the day, we're still here, we're still queer, we're not going any weirder.
Thank you. And I hear that the two of you are engaged. Congratulations. When is the big day? Any?
We're still deciding for a good date, but then we'll let you know.
Okay. Good to know. Last question. As queer people living in Singapore, how happy are you?
We are very happy living in Singapore because I know that Singapore sometimes there's still group of people that are not accepting us, but we were still like purposely holding a hand in the public, yeah, just to show that we will comfortably to be ourselves. Yeah. So just to send a message across to everyone that we are normal.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
It's just about making it a easier place to live. Like there are ways that it can be better, but when I came out in uni, I was expecting a lot of maybe homophobia, maybe people will call me names, but actually the whole 4 years it never happened. So it did give me hope that hey, you know what, this generation, our generation, is gonna do better.
Since I've gone home and my body's been fast, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress.
My name is Naomi and I identify as she, her.
Hi, Naomi. Okay, so Naomi, I believe that today you were invited as a performer for RainbowAsia's fundraising gala. How did you get into this?
Into singing?
Oh, yeah.
So it's always been a hobby of mine. So I actually had the great opportunity because one of the organizers is one of my friend's friends. So she actually approached me and asked me if I could perform for this. And then I said, of course. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And how long have you been singing?
Oh, since I was a baby. Like I've always loved singing. I think music has always been something that really ran through my veins. I would sing in the shower, but I haven't had a lot of opportunities to actually be able to perform. So I was really lucky to have this opportunity.
Nice. And you identify yourself as a queer person.
Yes, that's correct.
And has that sort of molded the kind of song choices that you actually choose during your performances?
I mean, I guess it could be small things like when you don't change the pronouns in certain songs, because I do see people who may do that very intentionally to make it more fit the straight agenda and things like that. I do enjoy listening to a lot of queer artists. I do like to, especially queer Asian artists as well, and that is something that I do go out for and I search for to see what they're doing.
Tell us about your heritage.
Okay, so I'm actually Korean by race, and then I was born in Canada and I was raised in the States for a while. But then I came to Singapore when I was about 10 years old and I've grown up here.
Have you been going back and forth to States, Canada, Singapore?
No, actually. So since I've been here, I think I've only visited my family in Canada maybe about once. Yeah.
Okay, and how do you feel the level of acceptance here in Singapore with regards to, people being queer?
I mean, of course, Canada, they're the first country who had legalized gay marriage. That's something that definitely I'm aware of, why I choose to keep my Canadian passport a lot of the time. But I think having been here, I have my friends and my family here. And of course, it's very hard to uproot your life and leave. And so, of course, I'm very hopeful. I do see that there is change being made, even though it might not be legally. I can definitely feel that in society, people are being more open-minded about it. You can see definitely our youth, they're a lot more chill about LGBTQ individuals. And so it's definitely not lost. But I think that there's definitely stuff that can be done much better. Of course, because of the way that we identify, there are a lot of things that are not available to us that are available to any cis hetero person. And so, I mean, in that regard, I do hope it gets better. If I could, I would love to stay here. So, I mean, that is something that it will change my mind of whether I stay or go. Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like organizations such as RainbowAsia are doing something fantastic? Like, just doing a fundraising event like this, or even like a get-together, would sort of help to change the society in Singapore?
Yeah, I think definitely having these kind of spaces and opportunities for people to look for. I think if you wouldn't know where to begin to find the community aside from like Pink Dot, if you can search around and be like, oh, they have events like this, I can definitely imagine as someone who wouldn't have these kinds of connections would seek them and be able to find this space. I think it's amazing that they're doing this camp for youth. And then I think when I heard them talk about it, it's not just for queer individuals, but also for just young kids to learn more about inclusivity. And I think that's very important. And I think it's very nice that there are also parents of that age who want their kids to go to these kinds of camps so that they can get that kind of exposure as well. Yeah, so I think they're doing a fantastic job.
Nice. And two more questions. What does pride means to you?
Ooh, so I mean, being proud of who I am, I identify as a Korean, I identify as a Canadian, I identify as queer. It's never a part of myself that I want to hide, and I feel like I fought so long to be seen. And so I hope that I can continue to do that by speaking up for myself and speaking up for marginalized individuals. And hopefully that can be done in a positive way that kind of isn't so daunting for a lot of people, because at the end of the day we're really just people. And I think that's something to be proud about.
So you're this amazing singer, you're talented, and you're eloquent, and I'm pretty sure that you take the opportunity to spread the message of what's it like being queer, and just being positive and all that. But my question to you is, are you happy?
I think I'm happy, yeah. I think for me, actually, the most important thing whenever anybody asks me what do I want to be in life, my answer to them has always been happy. I think there are a lot of things to worry about and figure out as life goes on, but I think there's not a point in worrying about it in the now, and not always worrying about the future, but you should focus on the now. So for me, it's like as long as I have people around me who love me, everybody's happy and healthy, then I think I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Where can we find you? Where can we find you? Your performances or your online presence?
Right, so I am quite new to this. I don't have any other upcoming performances, but hopefully I will. But you can find me on Instagram. My handle is a mess, so I will spell it out for you. But it's OMINAINSH. Sorry, it's like my name all jumbled around.
Yeah.
So it's OMINAINSH. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. So look out for Naomi. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. I'm right here at City Leisure for RainbowAsia's fundraising gala event tonight, and we gotta. Are you guys looking for a new singer for your?
So we are an a cappella group, okay, and we are called Under the Covers. We sing music and we only make sounds, music using our voices.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to introduce yourself very quickly? So you are.
I'm HM, I'm the vocal percussionist. I do all the drum sounds.
Hi, I'm Trisha. I'm the mezzo soprano.
Hi, I'm Danish. I'm the tenor.
Okay.
I'm Lashan. I'm the alto.
I'm Joshua, I'm the mixer.
And you guys are known as
Under the Covers.
Under the Covers of my. I'm gonna cut that away. Sorry. Bas, take it. Okay, Bas, come on. Okay, so it's my honor and pleasure to meet you guys, right? And tell us what's your involvement with RainbowAsia's event for tonight.
Okay, so I can take that one. So we were actually invited by RainbowAsia to come over and share a few words as well as perform an item for the event.
Okay, and how did you guys actually? How did you guys actually come together? Like, was it through school? Was it from school, or was it an interest? Met in a community center, kindergarten? Because they're so young. Look at them.
So we're actually from NUS, and we were in our a cappella group, like our a cappella CCA together. Then by luck, we kind of just got lumped together for like a group for concert, and then the rest was history. Yeah.
And how many of you guys are in your group? Like, how many of you are there in the group? Danish?
There's actually 6 of us. So there's a soprano, mezzo soprano, an alto, tenor, bass, and then the VP. So currently we only have we are missing 2 of our members, our bass and soprano. So
Fun fact, I was in the school choir and I was a tenor, and I was a high tenor, by the way. La 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 la. Okay, never mind. But I lost my singing voice anyway, but it's a me problem. I just want to ask you guys, and also looking at, you guys are Gen Zs, clearly, and you guys are changing. You guys are shifting things around, which is a very interesting, interesting platform to interesting time to be alive to actually see. Like you guys are born and immediately mobile phone is handed over to you in your hand so that you can keep quiet while your parents are busy cooking or fighting, right? Gen Zs, how do you perceive what Singapore society see the whole queer culture in Singapore?
So like I think we are in a generation where we got to see how much more open Singapore has gotten towards the queer community. Granted, we still have our struggles, but yeah, I think for me, because I'm also queer, so it's been a journey for me from like when I was like in secondary school all the way till now to see like how much more sparkly I can be now compared to like before. So it's been like a really nice shift to see how Singapore is so much more open and accepting to like the queer community in general.
Right. I guess I like as you're speaking, it just same but different. I think like different generation had their own struggles, but end of the day, from the struggle we just emerge and we emerge strong, right? In a nutshell, because you guys are Gen Zs, and I just want to ask you guys, what does pride means to you? I guess like everyone can take this question, like because it would be nice to hear your perspective. We start from
I think to me, pride is about being yourself. It's about expressing who you are and not being afraid to show it.
I think it's also about overcoming a lot of the internal struggles that you face coming from a society that puts this negative stereotypes on you. I think it's really about accepting who you are and being able to live your life. Yeah.
I think it's truly about just being unapologetically yourself, like being fearless and being proud of like who you are and like the struggles that you have gone through to get to where you are.
For me, I'm not part of like the queer community, right? But I have so many friends, right? I made so many good friends in the community, and pride to me is seeing how they can be happy being themselves. And I feel really, because I feel like as humans, we should accept everyone as they are, right? Yeah, so I like that.
Well, not really. I'm also straight. I'm not really, but yeah. So I have some queer friends, and I think it's kind of for them to, like what they all said, to be themselves, to kind of a bit of like reparations because they've been like discriminated for so long, and now it's like their time to like come out, I guess. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you so much for your perspective of what pride means to you guys, and it's very interesting to understand from your generation, right? But thank you so much for that, and so you guys are performing more, or you guys are online. How can we find out more about you?
So actually, right now, we are getting into gigs. So this is actually our first gig. Okay, and we are really happy about that. And so we are actually on TikTok very often. We post a lot on TikTok and Instagram. You can find us at Under the Covers.
We released a song on Spotify, a cover of Baby by Clean Bandit featuring Marina and Louis Fonzi. So you can check us out on Spotify and on our IG and TikTok, which is Under the Covers.
And I'm with Under the Covers, and thank you very much, guys. And you guys were excellent just now. So thank you so much for your participation and just your presence today. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm standing right next to the House of Mutiara. Am I saying that right? And I just found out the Mutiara actually stands for pearls. And I've got 3 beautiful pearls standing right next to me. Yes, with their own pearls as well, shoving into my face. But especially this pearl right here. But now, would you guys like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Iman Nara Virus.
Hi, this is Nishilia Aishwarya Bernard speaking.
Hi, this is Princess.
All right, thank you. Now, I would like to speak to Nishalia for a bit. Nishalia, because I believe that you actually play a very important role with Rainbow Asia. You want to talk to us about that? What's your role, and why do you think the role that you play is important with Rainbow Asia?
I am the program coordinator lah. So I plan the events like the camp that happens every year. Very soon we're going to have a pole dancing trial that for queer people, if they're interested, they can sign up. So it's really I like to think that my role is to foster that safe space for queer people. Yeah, because I've mentioned in the video that played just now in the gala, I only had my very first queer friend only when I was in national service. And when I only joined Rainbow Asia, I had like queer friends, only started making queer friends. And before all that, it was just trying to navigate the world, understand myself. It was a whole journey. So, and I'm not much of a bar goer, I'm not much of a clubber, so like where can I meet people outside these spaces, you know? And I feel like Rainbow Asia was the great space for that, and that's why I wanted to contribute to this cause and just keep maintaining and preserving safe spaces for queer people by queer people. But also at the same time, I think events like the gala, I think it still emphasizes the need for much more safe spaces within the country. I think very recently you guys have heard of this hate attack on a drag queen very recently. That's why we do what we do. You know, is to not only to create that safe space but to educate people, and that's what Rainbow Asia is for. Sorry, you had a second question, but I forgot.
You answered the question, so I asked you. Yeah, you answered it like, why is it important, right? So you answered it very lengthy. I was like, she never keeps quiet. But anyway, no. No, so I would like to speak to the two of you and tell us how long have you guys been performing and as drag queens, and why do you think drag performance is important in today's context?
For me personally, I've been performing for about 2 years now. And yeah, I gave birth to 2 daughters already, very fast. I'm a teen mom they say. Big. This one labor about 26 hours. Yeah, very long, giant baby. But yeah, personally, I find that me doing drag performances actually is, every time I come out, I feel like it's a very personal thing. Because like I said in the event earlier, each song that we perform actually means something to us. Yeah, and more often than not, it's more of for the audience. We always perform for the audience. So we just hope that each time we come out, you guys can, some numbers will resonate with you guys. You know, we hope. We want to do that lah. Yeah, and drag queens hold very important image. Yeah, because LGBT all properly.
Started drag late last year, so I'm still considered a baby queen. Yes, and after my first debut, I got the attention of my mother here, and she adopted me and helped to guide and polish me, which I really appreciate and cherish a lot.
She needed the guidance because when she performing, she rolled on the floor, she was drunk already. I was like, ayo, this kid needs guidance.
Okay, mother.
Sorry to air out our dirty laundry, but yeah. This is the house of Mutiara. Family matters. The pearl not always very shiny.
Always need some polishing to do.
I love that. I love how close you guys are and how real the three of you are as a house. I'm gonna end off this interview. We know this phrase: if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else, right? But my question to you is, do you love yourself?
I do. Like you know, wedding vow like that. I do.
Like Miss Universe question like that, huh?
I do, but I do have my days where I feel like I don't. So what helps is I just remind myself of all the things that I've done. You know, like it's very easy to go down that slippery slope of like, I'm like going into a dark place. But it's a learning process. I do love myself at the end of the day, yeah.
Yes, I do as well, but it's not like an easy thing to like realize. Yeah, over time when you grow and you look back, look back, then you will see like how much you have grown and yes, ma'am. Yeah, how much you have grown and see that there's something in you that matters. I mean, it doesn't have to be to anyone. You can, yeah. The most important thing is yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's important that I ask that question because everyone knows of the phrase and it's overly mentioned everywhere. But that's why I wanted to go a little bit deeper into asking people, do you actually love yourself? Because people need to know. And as performers, as people who organize events such as RainbowAsia's fundraising gala, we want to know if you really love yourself. And and that was raw. That was absolutely raw and honest. So thank you so much for that.
Hi, my name is Elliot. So I go by he, him. Yeah, I'm currently the program coordinator in RainbowAsia. Yeah, so basically what I do is to coordinate programs, programs like we have our Camp Legends, our camp. Yeah, so I was involved in that as well. Yeah, so we have also other community events as well. Yeah, there's the upcoming Blaze. Yeah,
it's a pole dancing event.
Right? Yes, that's right. Yeah. That's pretty much of what I do. Yeah.
Okay. Before I dive into the next question, I want to ask you, why do you think it's important for you to organize events like these in an organization like RainbowAsia?
I think it's very important because we as queer people, right, we are deprived of very safe spaces. Yeah. So I think like my contribution to RainbowAsia is very important in a sense where I'm able to create safe spaces for my peers, for my queer peers. Yeah. Because growing up, I don't think I have seen queer spaces that are loud and available. Yeah, so doing this, being part of this, I feel empowered to contribute back to the community.
So we just had our fundraising gala today. What inspired you to organize this gala event?
What inspired me? Honestly, we were thinking of ways of, raising up funds. Yeah, because we are a non-profit, we do need funds to operate, right? So why not a fundraising gala, right? Yeah, so that's how I gathered people to, form a team to come up with this gala. Yeah.
Nice. And for the viewers out there, what can we do to help to support the organization?
That's a great question. Firstly, donate. Can't emphasize this enough. And secondly, attend our community events. They are all on our Instagram. Yeah, RainbowAsia_org. Go and see them. Yeah, attend our events and really share on your social media. Make us loud and proud, you see. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I think you guys are doing such an amazing job. So thank you so much and thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Hi, I go by SY. I go with he, him pronouns.
And what's your role with RainbowAsia?
I'm the Associate Director of Research for RainbowAsia. So the portfolio that I primarily take on would be more relating to research, education. So we are really thinking of both academic research as well as community research, thinking about how we can actually use knowledge production as well as knowledge translation to benefit the broader community for the queer community.
Okay, and given that it's a non-profit organization and a lot of community events are being organized, how do you think your role that you play could impact the organization?
So the cool thing about the Research and Education Division, which would be Rainbow Plus, the division that I'm leading, is that we are very much thinking about how we can connect both academic research alongside with community work and community outreach. So for example, we've been doing this flagship study on lived experiences of gay, bisexual, queer men. That's very much thinking about, hey, in the everyday experiences of the queer community, especially in the post-3778 era, what are the gaps that actually needs to be filled, right? So there is this imagination of like, hey, once 3778 has been repealed, everything will be really great, but the reality is a lot of the issues of stigma and discrimination are still being uncovered, and with that, it's very much thinking about, hey, what are the next steps that community groups actually need to take in order to improve the situation? So from there on, we've actually done a couple of different studies. Right now, we're actually launching a study on inclusive education. So that's really very much thinking about, hey, in terms of the education landscape for queer learners, what are the areas of needs that we need to be filled, as well as what can queer learners themselves aged between 16 and 25 do to improve the situation. So right now we're actually launching a designathon from now all the way to about July, where we are actually inviting learners themselves to join us and participate in a couple of capacity building workshops as mentorship, such that they themselves can contribute to this change in educational environment. And the cool thing is that we actually got fundings from UNESCO to do it. So in that sense, to the top 5 teams will actually be given 2,000 USD to actually implement their project. So very much thinking about how can we actually integrate research alongside community work such that they themselves are empowered to create change within their immediate environment.
I get that RainbowAsia mainly targets the queer community, and given that you're doing research with them, do you think we can expand the scope to outside the queer community?
So I think the cool thing about this division is that it bridges between both the queer community and the non-queer community. So we do have outreach programs whereby we are reaching out to the non-queer communities. For example, our deaf awareness workshop previously was very much thinking about bridging the gap between the deaf community as well as the queer community. So thinking about it from very much an intersectional lens, thinking about it from, hey, how can we, our experiences as marginalized community members, still similarly impact or affect the experiences of, let's say, non-queer community members, vice versa. So in that sense, we do create that bridge through education programs as well as the research that we do, and very much drawing those links through the research that we're producing to show the non-queer community, the non-LGBTQ community members that they have a stake in the social progress of the queer community as well. Yep.
You mentioned that you have fundings and you guys are doing research based on that. Is there anything that anyone within the community can actually do to contribute to your research?
Definitely. So we are doing a couple of different research call-outs. So on one hand, the designathon is going on right now. So we are recruiting participants who are aged 16 to 25, who are identified as LGBT and happen to still be a student within the schooling system, right? So these can be university students, these can be pre-university students, but we are also doing an upcoming conference on the 6th of July. So that's quite cool because we will actually be presenting all our different projects. And I think during that point in time, aside from actually doing a quick presentation about what we've been doing, we actually will be engaging in brainstorming sessions whereby participants themselves can contribute to that kind of ideation phase, thinking about, hey, what can we do to expand on these projects? What are some next steps they themselves can actually take to make a difference based on these topics that we're discussing in the conference? So we're actually soliciting recruitment for both projects right now. So always happy to have more participants, as well as many different studies that we are currently still in the works of developing that we'll definitely be having call-outs later in the future.
Well, thank you so much, SY, for everything that you guys do for the community and for the organization as well, and all the best. All right, thank you. Standing right next to Wilson. Wilson, do you want to introduce yourself? You're obviously Wilson, and your pronouns is
he, him.
Okay, and tell us what's your role with RainbowAsia.
So I'm the development director, I'm the finance director, and also the program director. As well as I'm also a board member on the board of directors in RainbowAsia.
Okay, so for our viewers to know, for some of them who might not know, what is RainbowAsia?
So RainbowAsia is a non-profit organization. We are registered in Singapore, and our main objective is to build community between the LGBTQ+ individuals here in Singapore. We focus a lot on youths, but more recently, we're expanding more towards other members of the community that might not be youths who might also need support.
And you guys have been around for quite a while, is that correct?
Yes, so actually we started in 2008 and we have been around for almost 15 years. But I think because 377A was repealed, and I think there was this opportunity for us to see whether we could officially be registered as a non-profit. So as a result of that, we decided to try our luck, and we registered, and we are now an official non-profit.
Congratulations. As a non-profit organization, what have you guys done so far for, I don't know, the queer community, or even any reach beyond that?
Yeah, so actually, just because we have only been registered for a year, we actually have done quite a bit actually in the last year. So we do a lot of programs for the LGBTQ+ community. Part of that is actually an annual youth camp that last year we call it Camp Legends. What we do is we bring together youths from different parts of the island, about 30 to 40 of them, and then we give them opportunities to interact with one another in an affirmative and safe space. So that's our hallmark program. But beyond that, we also do research projects. This year, we intend to actually launch or publish a study about the lived experiences of the LGBTQ plus community in Singapore. And then beyond that, we also do media publications. So we do have a platform where we sort of allow for queer voices to be heard.
Okay. What are some of the highlights organizing events?
Actually, one of the highlights is when we hear from our participants. So I think earlier today during the gala, we just finished our gala. We screened our Camp Legends video, and our participants come back and tell us that the reason why they joined is because they want to find a community. And I think to me that is really an affirmation that our work here is really reaching the people that we want to reach. And it has the impact that I think we really want to bring to the community. More importantly, I think we do quite a lot of surveys and we do quite a lot of qualitative studies to try to understand, what exactly is our reach and what exactly have our activities actually impacted on some of the individuals. And when we hear these stories to us, this is really things that make our day.
Why do you think it's important for us to have organizations like these, be it just for the queer community or even any community that's wider than that?
Yeah, actually, so it's an interesting question because I think a lot of people think that, just by repealing the law, the problem is solved. Yeah. But it's not as simple as that because the thing is that the law has been around for quite some time. So that is what we call like collective trauma, right, over the last 50 years or so. And I think as a result of that, there's that lack of social capital, really, between LGBTQ plus individuals or just within the community itself. So it's quite hard to find support. Right. And I think as somebody who might identify as LGBTQ plus, you may not know who to turn to, maybe outside of the clubs, outside of the bars, outside of the dating apps. And I think our organizations seek to create that community, create that space. Right. So that people can find other people, outside of all these other places where it's safe. And to us, it's not a role that any other organization is able to do because we believe in basically the LGBT community supporting the LGBT community. It's kind of like the self-help groups that you have, that is cut across ethnic lines. For us, we are basically operating in the same model, just that we focus on a very specific community that has been marginalized for quite some time.
For the viewers out there, is there anything that they can do to support the organization?
Yeah, so actually to us, like the most direct form of support is definitely showing your support by donating to us. So our organization is run entirely on grants and donations, and 100% of your donation actually goes towards supporting our events. None of us are actually paid. In fact, for myself, I'm actually a full-time volunteer. I have a full-time job. So your support will actually go towards our future events and deliver the impact to our community. But beyond just supporting us financially, we are also open and we also welcome people who want to support us with their wealth of time. So if you'd like to volunteer with us, we are always open to volunteers who help us out at our events, as well as support us in our research. You can follow us on Instagram, RainbowAsia_org, and you can find out more about these opportunities.
Well, all the best, and thank you so much for organizing this gala event.
As the night went on with some incredible and talented performances, the fundraising gala organized by RainbowAsia reminded us of how everyone's contribution and voice could help fuel the fight for equality, creating a brighter future for the LGBTQ+ community. Please check out RainbowAsia's Instagram page to stay up to date with their outreach programs and events. Till then, stay curious, stay proud.